Hello and welcome to this beginner's tutorial of using the Shortcake program. In this tutorial we're going to go over the different parts of the language, basic commands, using repeat statements, parameter references, and expressions, as well as covering some flags. We're going to do this by creating a sample program that is going to basically dig out a branch mine like this. So I'm going to give you a little example of what's to come here. So we're going to take our turtle here and let's see what we called it, finished. Finished, we're going to give this 3 parameters. The first parameter is going to be the number of branches, which is 3. Second parameter is going to be the length of each branch. That's going to be 4. And then the last parameter is going to be how many blocks we want in between each branch. So we're going to put 2. So if all goes well, this will compile this raw code into this long string and then execute it. So we should see it dig out the parts that are sticking up and only those parts. Notice it is digging 3 high, and that is intended. Alright, so as it's working here, I'm just going to let this fast forward a bit until it's done. Alright, and it looks like it's finished. So we're just going to head back down there, pick up our turtle, and then I'll show you how we get to this point. Finished running, yay. Alright. So now we want to create this program. So to do that, we're going to take it one step at a time. So first things first, we have a number of commands that we're going to use. Most often we're going to be heading forward, turning, and doing some simple loops. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is create a program. So right now all we have is our finished program and the Shortcake program. So to do this, we're going to use the new function. So Shortcake, new, let's call it branch mine. Branch mine. Alright, edit, branch mine. Alright, so we have something blank. So what we're going to do here is we want to start by traveling 3 spaces forward. So 3 spaces forward, then we want to turn the face the first branch to the left, and we want to go 4 spaces down that branch, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, then we turn around, 4 spaces back to center, and then we have to do the right branch, which is going to be pretty much a copy of what we have here. So it's another 4 spaces. 4, turn around, and 2, 3, 4, back to center. And you can see there's a lot of patterns here. So we're going to use loops to make this a little bit simpler. Right, so first thing we can do is we want to go 3 spaces to start, right? So we can go 3 spaces, turn left, then we want to go 4 spaces, turn around, come back 4 spaces, and that's our left branch. Now, our right branch is the same as our left branch, so what we can do is we can just group these commands using parentheses. Alright, so we've grouped our left branch, and we're just going to repeat that a total of 2 times, so left and then right. So this will move us forward 3, then the left branch 4, the right branch 4, and then bring us back to center. Then all we need is to do a right turn to face us back towards the rest of the mine. And now we can repeat this whole thing number of times, 3 times I believe is what we were doing before, to create our mine. So let's just try this and see how this works out. Exit and branch mine. And we haven't set up parameters yet, so we're just going to run that. And we'll see. Goes out, turns around, comes back, turns around, comes back, and repeats the process again. Goes on to the next set of branches, left, then repeats it for the right, bring it back to center, turn right, and finished. Alright, so we have the basic shape of the mine now. That wasn't too hard, just using the most basic principles. One command, X, to move forward, break and move forward, and then just a number of repeats. Ah! Zombie invading my video. Alright. You wanted to learn too. So, now this isn't quite what we had before. Before we were using parameters to define the shape of this. So let's adjust our code to use those. Edit and branch mine. Alright, so first off, if we remember, our first parameter was the number of branches, or pairs of branches, that were going to be in our mine. And so this 3 at the end controls that, because we're repeating this whole T-shaped section 3 times. So that was our first parameter. So we're going to call that A. Now our second parameter was the length of the branches themselves. So that was this 4 here, controlled that. And I hear another thing, so that's going to be B. And I'm going to go deal with the skeleton. The woes of not doing this in creative. Alright, so back here, we set the 4 to B, so that we can change it with the second parameter, and we get to set this 4 as well, because we want to go down and back the same distance. So now our second parameter is going to replace the B's for whatever distance we choose, and now we just want to set the distance in between each set of branches, and that's going to be our initial stem here, this x3. So we're going to delete the 3 and put a C there. Alright, so saving that, exit, and we'll try it out. So branch mine, and we wanted a total of 3 sets of branches, 4 long, with 2 spaces in between. Let's see how that does. Oh, well, we already got a problem here. It started digging out one too soon. So that's going to be one issue. It seemed to have dug 2. Yep. Now, the problem with this, now each one's going to be off, so it actually is lining up with that next one. The problem here is that it didn't count, we wanted 2 blocks in between, right? We wanted it like that. Well, we told it to move 2 blocks, so it moved 1, 2, and then it started the branches. So it turned left here. So what we really wanted it to do is we wanted it to move 3 blocks. But that's not the way we define the parameter. We said 2 blocks in between. So we're going to have to kind of massage the user input to be what is appropriate to run our program here. And to do that, we're going to have to use expressions. So let's come back here, get rid of that bone, and edit it once more. Edit, branch mine. Alright, so this was our problem here, the C. To do an expression, we just need to contain it in square brackets, and we really wanted it to be one more than whatever the user puts in, because we have to account for the space where the turtle is going to be digging out the branch. Alright, so let's save that and give it a try and see what we come up with. I'm just going to fill this back in here with the original form that we were trying to achieve. And once again, we're going to do branch mine 3, 4, 2. Alright, so now he goes the right distance out, turns around, comes back, around, comes back. On to the next one. So far, so good. And on to the last one. Perfect. All right. So now, as we can see, it's only been digging 1 deep. If it was digging more, it would be digging out this sand layer here. Well, we want it to dig 3 deep, right? Because that's what our original one was doing. So in order to do that, we are going to include a couple flags here. And what a flag is it's essentially a command that toggles the way other commands work. So for instance, we're going to edit this branch mine. All right, so we're going to use 2 flags that edit the way this X command works. So one is a single quote, and the next one is a comma. So this single quote is going to tell all X commands that follow it to also dig in the upwards direction. And this comma is going to tell all X commands that follow it to also dig in the downwards direction. So when it compiles, you'll see a U and a D following every X. The U and the D being the dig up and the dig down commands. Alright, so one simple change, and we should have it digging out 3 high. So let's save, exit, and just so we can see this, we're going to fill it back in. We'll dig out a little sand here, but it'll be fine. And almost there. And we are done. Alright, so hopefully this will work as we expect. So it'll dig out this middle layer, top, and then 1 layer of sand. branch mine, we want to do 3 sets of branches, 4 long, with 2 spaces in between. So if you notice, we have our X, and then a UD, X, UD, following each one of our axes. So far, so good. And so this is just going to run through. And we can time-lapse that as well. And we finished up. So looks like it was successful. It dug along each of the channels we wanted it to, and it dug 3 deep. So that's it. We're finished. Now learned how to make a branch mining program. So each of these sections goes a little more in depth. There's a bunch of different commands. We went over how to group and repeat groups of commands. Went over some very simple usage of expressions to adjust user input, and a few of the flags as well. So if you want to learn all about this, you can head over to the website at www.metamilo.com/shortcake, and there's a bunch of tutorials and information to reference there. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.